Are we doing on a Wednesday? Oh, I know. It's time for another edition of Reapers Underground, and it is now officially a double shot. So grab your favorite devil's poison, and let's get this motherfucker started right now. I got with me tonight a special treat, the mastermind and director of Circus of the Dead, Billy or Bloody Bill, whichever you prefer.
Anything.
I love Bloody Bill.
You
so
can call me an asshole. I don't give a shit. So I don't get my feelings hurt too easily. So,
well, that's good. All right, but before we get into all of this mischievous, bloody business, we're gonna take a quick commercial break to our brothers over at Poison Valley Clothing. Check it out, folks. Hell yeah. If you're looking for some custom horror designs, check out all of the new designs that they got going on over at Poison Valley Clothing.
It's impressive that, a commercial and stuff, but I figured since I was on, it'd be like Tidy Bowl or Charmin or something. I didn't. I'm glad they up the ante and advertised, so that's cool. Thank you guys for advertising.
So you're saying I should have rolled the douche
yes, totally. That would have been more appropriate, but those look like some really cool shirts, though. Those are really cool designs.
They do great custom work over there. Pretty much any design that you have an idea for, they'll make it for you. Put it on a t-shirt. They're fast shipping and cheap as fuck, just the way we like it.
There you go.
All right. I've been advertising in all the popcorn groups that I've been able to find, as well as all over my socials. This is your chance, people. All you Circus of the Dead fiends out there that love this movie. It is a cult classic, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion as well. This is your chance to ask questions. So guess what? Share that shit out. Share it everywhere right the fuck now, because I said so.
You know who doesn't think it's a classic? My wallet.
I actually look at myself as a bit of a classic as well. Is that more like a relic?
Popcorn is he's the shit. I'll stand behind that. Like anybody that talks shit about the movie, I'm okay, unless they talk shit about Popcorn, and I go, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Popcorn in that movie. That was a flawless performance, flawless character, everything. So
I really don't know why anyone would have anything negative to say about this film, because
you know why they do is I got a lot of theories. Is some people just going to hate, but when it first started, because it really doesn't. We get like 98%, positive from everybody, but when we do, I look up their like profiles on Amazon and stuff, whenever they do it, and it's like they favorited Saved by the Bell or Boy Meets World or something. Like, okay, well, they're not going to like this movie no matter what I did. So it's usually something like that. But then also it's also kind of rapey for some people, and that turns some people off.
But and I'm actually someone that I don't really dig that a whole lot myself. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way you do it, it's implied more than it's viewed.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
I mean,
you're right, and I get that too. I've had people say, you treated it very respectful. I go, okay, I'm glad I'm respectful when it comes to rape, but that's the original Chainsaw Massacre is like, you know, when you saw that a long time ago, when you're younger, it was way worse that you thought you saw in your head, because it just makes you makes you see that stuff in your head more than you actually saw it. So I think that makes a good horror movie sometimes.
Absolutely. And the simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it feel so real, like you're right there. So why don't we just take it back to the very beginning? How did you get the idea for this film?
Well, I run a haunted house down here in West Texas called DEFCON 1 Haunted Warehouse. And I had half of the warehouse still empty. And I said, I'm going to do a second warehouse. And ended up doing Circus of the Dead Murder Maze. Now, this is way before a movie. But then I was inspired to go try a fake trailer, you know, because I like that name, Circus of the Dead. And I went and did a fake trailer even before Doll Boy. And that's Doll Boy actually right over my shoulder there.
Exactly.
We wanted to do a fake trailer for that, for Grindhouse. You remember when that come out with Planet Terror and Death Proof? And I think that they had a contest, and the one that won was Jason Eisner's Hobo with the Shotgun fake trailer. Okay. But I did pretty good with the Circus of the Dead trailer. Back then it was called Circa de la Muerte.
Which would have been equally as cool.
Yeah, and for you crackers that don't understand, that's just Circus of the Dead. I didn't know y'all didn't know I was bisexual. I mean bilingual. Anyway, so we did that trailer, and then we went and tried Doll Boy, because Doll Boy was just a character in the movie, and I knew I couldn't go after a movie, so I wanted to do a short first. So I took one of the characters out of the movie, which is Doll Boy, and we went that route. I did Doll Boy, didn't like it. But my friends, you know, they kind of said, hey, it's better than what you think. Put it into a couple of film festivals and some conventions. And then last tally of Doll Boy, when it was back in those days, we probably got into over 70 of them because of the Doll Boy short. So then I thought it was going to be easy, come up with the funds, and did Circus of the Dead. But to answer your question, I come up with that because of Captain Spaulding.
Man, he was one of the big, like, inspirations for me getting into this end of the business, not just from, you know, metal, being a black metal fan and a King Diamond fan, always will be, but his mannerisms, the way he could just bring that character to life, and you just fall in love with the guy.
Yeah, you could not help but do that with him, but he is a good dude in real life too. But it was the way they took it, as it was just a regular dude that happened to have a day job that just happened to be a clown. And that's where I wanted to take that approach, because everybody does clown movies and all this, but I wanted to do a different take on it. You know, I said, what if it was more realistic than anything, you know, Pennywise or anything like that, Freddy Krueger, what if there just happened to be real people? So.
And that's what I was going to say. And we want to hear your comments out there too, everybody. I see all my demons out there. Sorry if Facebook's being a bitch. A lot of people are saying they got kicked out, but it's probably a Facebook issue.
Yeah, it's probably me. Like there's a lot of restraining orders against me out there. So
no way. But I was going to say there are so many clown movies out there. This one stands out so much more, and I think it actually kind of like appeals to that classic big top, you know, clowns at the circus, but yet they're just absolute fucking madmen, and you don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
Right. Well, that's a day in their life. I mean, they just kind of, Papa Corn's got no conscience, so if it pops in his head and he's going to do it, he's going to do it. But that's the secret right there, Reaper, is you want to know what makes me tick is you start with a little seed when you're growing it, you know, like your movie idea and stuff. It's like, what would really happen if this was really real? And that's kind of where it goes from with those guys. But I mean, I've got like 2 paranormal type scripts too, but it's equally as messed up, you know. A lot of people, when they hear I'm doing Cowboys from Hell Next, I think they think I'm doing some kind of old John Wayne Western or something. And it's like, I want to tell them, I'm like, you know, it won't be that. It'll be just as good and crazy and as fucked up as Circus is. So I'm not making John Wayne movies. So just try. And Billy, they should.
Thank goodness. I was just never that big of a John Wayne fan, but
I wasn't allowed to be. I wasn't allowed to be Reaper. My dad, who passed away this past March, he was half Chinese, which makes me a quarter. Now that quarter unfortunately fell below the waist, but he wasn't like, I wasn't allowed to like Chuck Norris or John Wayne or any of that stuff. I had to love Bruce Lee, which is okay with me because Bruce Lee was the man, you know. And that's what I grew up watching, was that kind of stuff. So you know,
nothing wrong with that.
Westerns, it was, I had to watch Kung Fu with David Carradine, and as I got older, I was like, Dad, I said, but that's kind of like a white dude playing a Chinese dude, Dad. I said, you know, but my dad said, well, it was okay because it was David Carradine, because in his book, David Carradine was really cool. So, but I had to explain to him how David Carradine died, and he thought that was a little strange.
How did that go?
Yeah, it didn't go very good. Oh, he is okay. I mean, my dad was the most everything I got creatively. I got my mom's love for people and friendliness and stuff, but I got my dad's fucked up creativity. I wish I had these pictures. We're working on trying to get some of his personal things, but I know he worked when I was a kid, like real little, like I'm talking about 8 or 9. We were he is still living up in Dallas. And at night, he was doing construction during the day, and at night he was a security guard at Baylor. You know, you've heard of Baylor Hospital and stuff. Well, he'd get to carry a gun and all this kind of stuff. But he was in charge of the, you know, where all the cadavers are and stuff like that. And he snuck me up there one night, and I got to see all those as a kid. But he had put like a cigarette in their mouth and sunglasses on them. And now there's pictures exist out there. I'd love to find one because they're the most macabre thing I've ever seen. Probably get kicked off of Facebook for this shit or something. But that's some pretty twisted stuff. But I remember it now. You know, they'd cut like the privates out, so I didn't know who were men and who were women, and it just seemed fake to me when I was a kid. But it's like shit I've had nightmares and stuff on. So thanks, Dad. If you're in heaven, so.
I mean, yeah, when you're a kid, everything just seems surreal.
And that's why I wanted to make movies, is that was our thing. Is in the 70s, I remember going to drive-ins with them all the time, but then something was invented called the VCR, and that changed everything, because then all of a sudden with my dad, we would Faces of Death, anything we would watch, you know, Toxic Avenger, anything. And we would watch all that kind of stuff, and the messed up the cover, the more we'd rent the movies and stuff. And I just wanted to make movies and show him that we could make movies and stuff like that. So he did get to see Circus. He actually had a cameo in Circus in the diner scene. A lot of people did in that diner scene. Unfortunately, it's mostly older people. And I think last count, there's 4 or 5 of those guys that are passed away now, including my dad. So yeah. So it's kind of, you know, it's
bittersweet.
Very bittersweet. Yeah. But that's what's cool about the movies, though. But I remember when the DVDs come out, I went and took them a DVD and all that. And it was a very proud moment for me and stuff like that.
Fuck yeah. And you should be. Because, you know, let's face it, Tyler here says, this movie gave me the feeling the first time I watched The Hills Run Red, just enjoy the crazy ride. And that's exactly what this type of film was meant to be. These guys are just soulless.
Now, I know The Hills Have Eyes, that, because, you know, I used to hear about that before the movie because everybody said it looked like this guy, you know, Doll Boy. Remember the character in Hills? Yeah, is it Hills Run Red? Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at me. See, there's where that sleep thing's coming. I swear I'm not on drugs right now, guys.
It's all right.
I wish I was, but well, I appreciate him saying that. That's really nice and stuff. So get his name and number. I'll send him out some signed posters or something too. Can you do that? Tyler, you want a signed poster, brother? Tell Reaper, get his address. Reaper will forward it to me, and I'll send you out a little surprise package, you know. So I may mushroom stamp it instead of, you know, do it. So look for my autograph on there somewhere.
Hell yeah. He also says the cover oh my goodness. The cover needs to give you the feeling of, oh, this is going to be good. And
yes.
It does just that. I mean, let me get it up there for everybody. I know, you know, everyone should have seen this by now, but just in case you didn't, that's the cover. You know, it's like the band's back in town.
Now I'll tell you an interesting story about that cover. Is that was done by Dredd. That cover. Now it was with our original photos and stuff. And I wish I remembered the guy's name. He's actually a director and artist up north somewhere. But they redid the cover, and I love their cover so much. Now I loved all the stuff we did early on and stuff too from my friend John Mata. But that was just kind of brought new life in it. And when you guys put out a movie or something, what happens is like we shot it in 2013. We did a test screening at Texas Frightmare Weekend in spring of 14. And then it took us 17. We went out with the aggregator to put it out on all these platforms. I didn't know about promotion or that I had to put more money. And then the aggregator completely screwed us over and went bankrupt and stole all this money. And then Dredd comes and picks us up in 2020. So it's like technically the movie's only been out a little bit. And unlike Marvel and stuff, whenever you do a movie, an indie movie, and it takes off and grows. You know what I mean? Whereas Marvel starts high and then it starts losing a little bit of their money. But
sure there is.
But I'm so proud. We're up to like $1.23 in profits, and at this rate, I'm probably going to get a like not a ramen bowl, but like a top ramen bowl.
That's awesome. So, as you cultivated this storyline, did you have certain actors in mind while you?
Yeah, I did. And what's funny is it all started with I did a simple search on Google, and that's where I stumbled over Bill Oberst Jr. It was like 5 indie or 5 scary horror guys that you should watch out for. And I put him as on the list, and I started watching video clips of him and other of his movies. David Howard Thornton was on that list because at the time, MySpace was still going on. And for some reason, I was following him from his fan page when he did the Joker. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing a Joker cosplay, and I thought he was pretty cool. But also on that list included Bill Moseley and Paul Rubens. Yeah.
Wee Herman for all you.
There you go.
30 plus somethings out there.
So they were all on it. But once I contacted Bill, I reached out. This is really a good thing too. Is like some of you new filmmakers out there. Is I just cold reached out to him on Facebook Messenger, and then he, I guess, had my number with it and see if he'd be interested. And he called, and I sent him the script, and he called like 2 hours later and said he loved the character and all. And it kind of just started from there. And then we started talking to his manager, and we made it work. So boy, did we make it work. But the only thing I can say about Bill Oberst Jr. is, I mean, as deadly and badass as he is as an actor, in real life, he's like the sweetest, most humblest person you'll ever meet in your entire life. And I've met them all, from Sid Haig to Angus Scrimm, the tall man from Phantasm, how sweet he was. And I'll tell you, somebody else who was really, really sweet too was Dieter Laser from Human Centipede. He was at the first convention that I took Dollboy to screen at, and he was there. And man, he just made me feel like a normal person. And it's like, I even was talking to Bill Moseley too that same weekend too. It was my first big convention, and I was meeting these heroes and stuff like that. The only one I really freaked out over and fanboyed was Sid Haig that weekend. And and he told me that I run into him in the lobby like on a Thursday when everybody's getting there, and I didn't know the routine that you kind of just be cool to everybody. But I run up, I go, "Oh my God, you're Sid Haig! I can't believe it! I love you so much." And he goes, "Hey, let's calm down, Sparky. I'm here all weekend." So, but that to fast forward, my relationship with Sid Haig is, then that was Texas Frightmare Weekend, and then when the movie come out, I started doing, I guess about 2017, I started doing press for it, and I started doing like the Days of the Dead circuit, and I got to meet him again. Yeah, and by the time I got in Chicago, it was a Monday morning, and everybody's kind of gone on Monday mornings on those conventions. So I always tell them, stay late or stay till Monday, because that's when you really get to talk to these stars, is in, when all the fans are gone and stuff. And he goes, Bloody Bill, he goes, you mind if I sit and join you for breakfast? And I was thinking, holy shit, it's like Sid Haig is sitting here with me and Mr. Blister, for breakfast. And I was like, holy shit, I've like made it, and we struck up a good conversation, and I even had some things in mind to do and stuff like that. And unfortunately, his health took a turn, and
still a void is left.
Very much
in his absence.
Sweet dude.
It's interesting you say that about Bill Oberst Jr. because I had him on my show back in the fall, and he was just a fucking sweetheart.
He is.
And
he
then
really is.
it's like you get this.
Yeah, it tastes like slut. Yeah.
I'm like, he just has played the most sinister character I could ever imagine. And that's kind of how I always viewed clowns in a circus setting. That, I mean, yeah, they're human beings too, but they have the ability to like be somebody you just would not expect would do these things. So how did you go about picking the rest?
Well, like Parrish, I met him at Texas Frightmare Weekend. He was flying in to play a detective because I knew I wanted to work with him because he's like a buddy. And we had this other part open, but we had somebody else cast for that part of Donald, and it wasn't jiving on set. And this is my first movie. I don't know how this goes. And I was freaking out. And we shot for this guy for like 2.5 days and stuff like that. And then I realized, I said, we're going to have to let this person go. What the hell do I do? And Melissa Land, who's one of my producers and friends, said, hey, you should consider Parrish. He turned in a really good audition. And I didn't watch his audition much because, to me, Parrish is like kind of like a Matthew McConaughey. But I should have gave him more credit because he was so good with his dramatic stuff and his crying and stuff like that. And that's what sold it on that. So I call him after firing this one actor and say, hey, instead of coming down here for 2 days, can you come down here for a month and finish this movie as this character? And he goes, well, how long do I got prepared? And I go, well, how long is your flight? So it went like that basically. But I mean, what a trooper. Parrish is my buddy and like my brother. And we have a lot of fun filming, but like all the good people that do, act and stuff, and they take that shit serious. So it's when the camera cuts and we're just hanging around is when we have our funnest times. We take movie making serious, so we bust ass. But any other time we're just fucking around. We're just two good old boys in a non-racist way, and we're still Southerners down here and stuff. But he's a fun guy to be around. I tell you that, and I love him dearly. Everybody on Circus, every actor that come in is just. They're like lifelong friends now and stuff. And some have gone on and don't even act anymore and stuff like that, or said they don't want to act anymore, but they always said they would do something for me, So he tells me, Parrish always goes, well, Billy, what about the sequel? I go, dude, you died. He goes, well, technically you didn't see me die. You heard the gun go off, but you didn't see me die. So I go, oh, I see where you're going there.
So, it was one of the greatest twist endings that I could have ever imagined. Even on Rotten Tomatoes.
Think about it, Reaper. Is like he said he's going to see him again. He saw him again. He just didn't say you'll see him alive again. That kind of thing. We shot a ton of stuff. What you didn't see is we cut a lot of this. Is when you first do a movie, you got test screenings, and these potential distribution companies will do this and do that. And believe it or not, it wasn't the head fucking scene or the jacking off in the window that got us in trouble. It was the torture stuff with the kids on that cell phone video, because there's still a shitload of that never seen the light of day. Is they made cue cards for these little kids to read while they're for their dad, and it was some bad stuff, and it was really pushing the envelope kind of stuff. But it wasn't even there was no blood. It was cell phone shot, but like that would have been very trend setting if I would have put that out, but. These companies said no, we had to cut a lot of that. They wanted me to cut the baby slam that Noodle Dome did. See, when I go to those screenings and stuff, because I've been to, probably about 60 screenings of that movie. And if I lose anybody, it's usually during that part. People get mad and walk out. So not the dick, not the hump in the head. It's the baby part. And the only reason that came about is Ryan Clapp, that big oath of a clown. Or yeah, I mean, he's a huge dude, but he's like the sweetest damn teddy bear for me. So when I was telling him to slam that baby dummy down, he was like, "No, dude, don't make me do this shit, man." Then once he said that, I said, "Okay, we're going to come up with everything we can do." And there's outtakes where Papa Corn comes up to the baby while Mr. Blister's holding it, or when Ryan's holding it, Noodle Dome, and he says, "It's not in the cards, kid," and he holds up a Loteria card. Mr. Blister walks up and sticks a lit cigarette in his mouth. The little Jumbo, the little dwarf clown, comes up and has a coat hanger, and he starts beating the baby with the coat. There's all these weird untakes, but we only did that to make Ryan uncomfortable at that point. So. Because he's such a sweet guy. Yeah, he is a really, really sweet guy. And he was always afraid, too, that his wife would see it and stuff like that, and he would be, because he's a very religious dude. And like I said, he's just got a heart of gold, and he doesn't want to hurt anybody. But in the movie, I made him, be the enforcer or the muscle in the movie. So part 2 is really good. He's got a battle suit that may be or may not be Billy Bob Bear from Showbiz, and that's all I'll say about that.
Ooh.
So
you heard it right here, my demons out there in Black Flame Land.
Because everybody's a sequel thing. Is the more fans go, they got to have more and more and more and more. And I shot that scene and put it after credits because a lot of people, when they watch Circus of the Dead, don't know, but it's got a lot of Easter egg stuff at the end of it. And even during it, too, because I'm all about detail. Like the beer store, all the signage and stuff is homages to things in my life and stuff like that, too.
Yeah, that whole DEF CON beer thing makes sense now.
Yep, there you go. And there's some beer. It was like a purple haze, a hazy purple, for Hendrix. And then there's like House Red, which is like Red House. Then there was like Winfield, something J. Winfield, Bad Mother beer. That's like for Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction. And then there's Vega Amsterdam Light, Pulp Fiction. There's a lot of weird stuff on that. And I always pull that thing with, because I love Tarantino and he does the Big Apple or the Red Apple cigarettes. I had Pedro Azul, which is a Blue Dog. There's that bilingual thing again. But so I always have these Pedro Azul cigarettes. And at the premiere at Texas Frightmare, we're giving out candy cigarettes, Pedro Azul candy cigarettes. Nice. Everybody, yeah. That and Viewmasters. If you got a Circus of the Dead Viewmaster, those are very rare.
Oh, man. I might have to see if I can get my hands on one of those.
There are people overcharging them if you do find one. I tell you that.
I totally believe that. Although we have here in our home, we have a signed copy from you and
awesome
Bill DVD that was nicely firmly planted on one of our shelves. But that just goes to show you, though, I never understand these FCC motherfuckers, man. It's like, he can fuck the hell out of a skull, but if it's got kids, that's just too much.
Because it's what's bullshit about it is it's whoever happens to be watching it's personal taste. That's where the thing is.
Yeah.
Like a Serbian film gets a lot of shit, but it's like, it's like, well, okay, well, it's not my thing, but it's a movie. It's okay. You have the choice to watch or not to watch. I don't think it should be, erased from memory or history. It's like all that stuff should be out there. It's art. If you don't dig it, then you don't dig it. It's not real. You're not really killing somebody or hurting somebody. It shouldn't be that big a deal.
I mean, wasn't that how Pulp Fiction was? It was shocking. It was very over the top. It's shit you never saw before, but it was kind of done in a very comedic way.
Very much. And I think Circus has got a lot of that too.
Oh man, when he slammed the baby, I'm sorry. I love children. I always have. Yeah. But man, when he slammed the baby, I laughed my fucking ass off.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to see people get up and walk out and say, okay, this is enough. So, but when they walk out of those screenings is when it's good. And I was telling somebody the other day about those screenings is like the things they laugh about in Chicago screenings is different than what they laugh about in LA screenings, which is different than what it laughs in Texas screenings. So it's like really weird. It's like the times and places that where people laugh or don't laugh. It's so funny. So, and sometimes it's just the vibe of the room. If the air conditioner's not working good and people are cranky, it doesn't get as good as results and stuff. So,
I don't know. I definitely think that's true, though. I think some states or cities that see this kind of stuff, it's like some are definitely more into dark humor and don't mind it. And then there's those that are just like, that's too much. But man, I could think of a million different. I Spit on Your Grave from 1980 something. Even some of the, early Friday the 13th stuff. Shit. The first Texas Chainsaw. How about the second Texas Chainsaw with Bill Moseley? It's like you're telling me that you were okay with that. But, once you throw some realism in there, suddenly it's a whole new ball game. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. It's art, and let people do what they do. Just don't watch it if you don't like it,
Absolutely.
Well, where we get a lot of it. Oh, hey, JD. Same thing, JD.
I love this movie. I just looked up and realized I had a signed cover copy.
That's because I'm a whore and a prostitute, and I'll sign anything. That's what I was going to tell you is to get Bill's autograph is one thing, but to get mine's pretty damn easy. If you just hang out at any Texas truck stop at the Glory Hole, you'll probably get my autograph.
I fucking love it. That's how Mischief and I are, buy me a shot. Here's my autograph.
Yeah,
man, that's the one thing I love about the horror community is that we're all just just regular people.
And I was going to say that too, is the best fans in the world. I don't know. There's something about horror people. They're really good people. Other than having weird sexual fetishes, we're all really good people, so in this business. So.
Oh, I totally believe that.
Good to charity, good to people, and it's you see it when you do these horror conventions. I've done so many horror conventions and met so many people that become like family members and stuff to me, just through conventions because they're horror fans, and I fanboy out and we talk about movies that I loved as a kid with them and stuff. So it's just like they're like long lost cousins in a way,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't think that's really any different than, being in bands, like I said, we've both been in metal for, a long time. And
what happens in bands though, is like that my stepkid's starting that stuff now. And he goes, man, I sure love this kid. They met for the first time last night and got to jam together. And he goes, they went out to a metal show tonight. The other kid's dad took him to a metal show. I use that opportunity to sleep, by the way. But anyway, I was telling him, I go, no, he's going to be your best friend. He's going to be your brother. And you're going to love him, and then you're going to hate him. And then you're going to love him, and then you're going to hate him. Because every band, no matter what, you will fight with somebody at one point or another.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And I feel that is somewhat, kind of translates when you're on the set of a film.
Yeah. I run a tight ship. I'm more of the abusive. That's what I was telling Bill right there. Is no, you direct.
We talked about that,
but he just I was just showing him on that one precisely. I said you're looking so good on this camera. I said give it a pause after you deliver that line, and then get mad and yank her out of that thing. So, and it's just like that. The shh, silence is golden thing. It's something, boy. When you get on there, you feel these pauses and stuff. I feel like a director / editor should be like a conductor, for a symphony. And you're taking these people on a mental roller coaster, and a visual roller coaster and stuff, and you need them to do certain things. That's why I put the credits at the front. Is I wanted to show a good little scene, make you think about the John Wayne Gacy quote, go to credits, let you adjust in your seats, and okay. That's good lighting. That's good this. That's good that. What do we have here? Let's see what's going on is what I try to do. And there's a lot of bumps in circuits, and I hope to fix that in the next one in Cowboys from Hell. But that's what I try to do is take you on a ride and control your feelings and what you want to do.
That's what a good horror movie is supposed to be. It's supposed to suck you into this world.
Yes. But going in cold and being the first one, because I tell you what, go out there, you'll count – I don't know. What do you think? 99 shitty horror movies to one decent one. It's pretty tough.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Out at Frightmares, I run this thing called a fake horror trailer showcase. And a lot of people's they're up to making features now. Some of these people, I call them kids, but they're not kids because I make them come to this class at Frightmare, and then I said I challenge them all for the next years to do a fake trailer, and that feeling they get and stuff like that. It's the thing I'm most proud of, is helping other people, you know, find their film dreams and stuff like that. And hopefully I can influence them a little bit to make them do really good and be like I am. I don't want to be miserable like me, in the sense of, because I hate everything I do. And I think I could do better, but I don't want them just to say everything I do is great either, kind of thing. So I want, you know, I want them to take their shit more serious and focus that camera and use good audio and good colors and good acting and all this kind of stuff. I want more good stuff out there, you know, as opposed to just, oh, I did it, you know, or daddy said I'm a good kisser kind of thing. It's like, you know, I'm honest with them. If it's not super great, you know, I'll say, this is what I think could have been better, and I'd like to see this way or something. But I'm so proud of that fake horror trailer stuff. I think everybody should start off doing a fake horror trailer if you've never done anything, because you'll find out how good your acting is, your shooting is, and all this kind of stuff. And it kind of tells you what you're weak at and what you need help with. You know, if you need a better shooter or a better audio person or whatever, or better equipment, it kind of tells you where you're at.
Shoot, that's no different than an album. Like, everybody's made that one album that we're just like, that was just complete shit. But you get better from that.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to film, the best way to just get into it is to jump fucking head first and give it a shot.
Because I tell you what, there's somebody out there that could use your help. And if you want to act, go volunteer on set. If you want to volunteer on set and they say, hey, can we use you in this scene? Then let them use it. It's just, there's a lot of opportunities, because on indie film, we all wear a lot of different hats. Yes. I was snaking a toilet one day after somebody dropped a big log in there. It's probably Noodle Dome, Ryan. But somebody goes, why are you doing that, Billy? Call a plumber.
All the spicy food.
Yeah, call a Roto-Rooter. And I was thinking, I'd rather use that $500 or $600 on some effect or something. You know what I mean? I didn't want to spend it on the big turd, so I did it myself. So you got to do everything on an indie movie. So, but it couldn't have happened without the handful of people we had and stuff. There were so many people that this dream of mine, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for them. So we'll see when we do Cowboys how many come back to work with me. But I'm sure we'll lose some and bring in some new people and see where it happens. There'll be a return to some actors, and then there'll be some new actors, and so hopefully that'll be next.
Shit, I'd jump on your set any day. I'd do it for free. Shit.
It's you say that though, but I'm not pleasant to be around sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. We have a good time. I try to, like, even Bill, he gets into character and starts focusing, and I try to get him to laugh or to crack up. I remember we had Parrish played Donald. He was, when that was that scene where Popcorn was yelling at him in there, telling him about his kids, and he was handcuffed to the thing, and he said he didn't want us to let him go, that he wanted just to hold up. That's exactly it. He wanted us just to hold up his drink. The thing with Parrish is the dude loves Coca-Cola. I mean, like, loves Coca-Cola. No, I mean, like, loves Coca-Cola. And I go, it's like the big gulp cup.
Me too.
But he had his own. He, like, carried a jug. With a jug. So he said, just hold this up here and let me get a drink. So somebody did that. He goes, just leave me here because I want to stay in character with my tears and everything. On this break, we had to switch batteries or something. And I said, okay. I said, it's your thing. So I said, it's your funeral. And then I backed up and put a big nasty fart in his face, and we all took off running and left him in there. And he learned what the true meaning of hell was at that moment. He thought Popcorn was bad in his face. We saw what one of my fucking half Asian farts was. So sweet and sour farts.
After a little cream of some young guy. I mean, General Tso's chicken.
Now, here's the thing too, as I say, is like, if y'all done some movies and stuff before, you'll know it's always like Little Caesars should sponsor everybody. And Little Caesars is good when you're on a budget. That shit's good. But you got to feed your damn crew good and stuff like that. And boy, we did. Once we started realizing that that's the key to happiness, I believe it is. So, I was seeing the stars over there eating chicken fried steak sandwiches one day, and we had breads and all kinds of stuff, and tea and ice and all kinds of stuff. And I remember overhearing Bill and Parrish say, dang, I don't think I've ever had this much good food and stuff on a set before in my whole life. So we took care of them really good. So we're going to do the same thing on Cowboys. My brother-in-law, the guy plays Doll Boy, He's been competing in barbecue competitions and stuff, and the shit's good too. So I said, hey, when we do Cowboys, come out and feed everybody every day, you know, different things. So we're gonna cater Cowboys with Dollboys barbecue. So, which he calls his company. We'll see if you know this one is. He calls his company Last Roundup Barbecue, which is from Chainsaw 2.
Yeah. Ain't gonna be a dry set of drawers on that set.
Yeah. Front and back.
Right. Because when I did Attack of the Corn Zombies, I mean, we ate Subway every day, and that was like if we got a break, and then we would be, you know, just whatever we could get from the gas station, throw it in our backpacks, and that's what you fucking ate for the day. And that's okay. I don't give a shit. It was worth it. Hell, I think it made us all act better.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, I just took pride into, I don't know. It's like when I started the first couple of days, I kind of didn't know what I was doing. And then I had to fire somebody. And it's like I tell everybody that's kind of when my balls dropped and I turned into a director for real. I was on set with Bill one of the first nights. We were shooting the scene where they cut out that tongue of that guy. Yeah. And he said, paging Dr. Noodle Dome. It's like I liked all that, but I thought it was kind of Jerry Lewis-ish. And,
a little bit, sure.
Hey, you guys. So, and Bill saw like a weird look in my face, and he pulled me aside and said, you know, you're the director, Bill. You got to direct me, and don't be, you know, scared or intimidated. I work for you. And, you know, what do you have in mind for this character? And that's when I said, well, I really dig like the Daniel Day-Lewis and the Gangs of New York, The Butcher. I really like Jack Torrance and The Shining, and also Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Bill took that shit. We showed up on set the next day, man, and it was like Papa Corn was born.
There you go, Kyler. That was one of the things that Kyler was just asking was, how did, you know, Bill get into that personality? And I see it. I saw bits of it just watching the film. I'm like, yeah, I see kind of like this cornucopia of insanity.
And Les, remember like when he was behind the curtains and he says, hey, buddy, I'm just trying to do my job. It's like, that's actually the fake clown. The real person is how he does when you see him usually. That's the thing. He's funny, ha-ha, you know, when he's at the circus. But when he's not, there's nothing funny, ha-ha about the dude, you know. So,
shit. I mean, it's like when he said, I'm going to kill your entire fucking family.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I mean, congratulations.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, you can't go
with it.
You get a Bill Oberst Jr., that's like, they go, hey, we need a sports car. And I go, okay, we got a Lamborghini. It's Bill Oberst Jr. So,
damn straight.
Yeah, so I wrote Papa Corn. Me and Lee Ankrum wrote Papa Corn kind of about ourselves and our own fucked up issues and stuff. All the clowns, in fact, have a lot of me and Lee in it. And but it's like if I played Papa Corn or Lee played Papa Corn, that'd be like a 72 Pinto. It wouldn't have been a Lamborghini. So you just got to get the right racehorse for the right race. And that was Bill Oberst Jr. Because if I do anything more right in life than that, that'll surprise me. Because that was a Grand Slam, you know, home run with walk-off Grand Slam home run with Bill Oberst Jr.
Oh man, yeah. There's just nobody better that could play that part. And I you know, I'm a big fan of the Terrifier as well. Mm-hmm. But you know, for someone that can be this terrifying clown and speak, I don't know. I really kind of gravitate just a little bit more because you really get that insanity. Like this is like you can like look in their mind kind of thing. Eddie says Philly cheesesteak hot pocket from the dollar store. Chef's
yeah,
kiss.
that's food. Yeah, that's and you're gonna get a bubble gut, but at least diarrhea don't clog up toilets like those fucking big turds do. That's for sure. Definitely not. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into a little bit more of this, I have to plug it only because it just came out.
Haribo?
What's that?
Another commercial?
It's kind of, but not really. The official trailer for my first film is now officially out. So let's check that out. Attack of the Corn Zombies. What's that?
I said, yeah, I want to see it. Let's play it.
And you might see me at the end of it.
Okay, I'll look.
This goes out to all the groovy people at the Nest Corn Festival who are just chilling out and enjoying some of the best corn in the Midwest. DJ Smoke and Dan will be heading your way right after the show.
You kids didn't go to the festival, so you missed out on Bob's special ingredient that he added to the corn this year.
What are you staring at, you freak? Why do you even come to these parties if you're gonna act like a bitch?
Who else is to blame, Mom? I've seen the way you treat Dad. If I was him, I'd be gone just as much.
Don't you talk to me that way!
Bob was hoping that new fertilizer would help us get the corn on the market faster. We went over to see if we could help him, and he lunged at me. He started biting me.
So it seems like people are coming back from the dead, murdering others, and also going missing, apparently. So that's cool.
Yeah, do the dead people look like that?
It's the festival. Almost everyone in town went, and they're all infected, and the ones who didn't go are about to be.
You almost got us killed back there!
Yeah, that was my fat ass dragging my foot at the end.
That's very grindhousey. That's a lot like those trailers we do. There's been some. What are they doing now? Like somebody did a fake trailer. Now they're doing one called oh god dang, cock zombies, like roosters or something. Cock zombies come out or something like that. Yeah, I would like to do things like that sometimes. Some comedy stuff, but I don't know. I got too many other things I got to do first, I guess. So.
For sure. Do you got anything that you're working on right now?
Well, we're gonna knock out Cowboys from Hell and get that done. The only reason it's taking so long is I like to film everything near me so I can use my free friends.
For sure. Yeah, I understand that. That costs.
But I need a good Western town and stuff, and we got to travel a little bit. So if we don't shoot it down in Blanco, Texas, we're gonna actually go out to Old Tucson to film. So I'll be out of state for that one. Yeah. So we got to see what we're going to do on that one. That's why it's hard to make that one happen. But I want to do that and dedicate it to my dad. The story's kind of like, has a lot to do with me growing up and stuff like that. So, and the main character's name is Bloody Bill, ironically. It's going to be Brad Potts, who played the trooper in Circus of the Dead that got run over. So,
hell yeah. Of course, the first thing I thought of was Pantera.
Yeah, and that's where the name come from, of course. Just to throw homage to Dimebag and stuff. He's one of my favorites. I seen him meet Eddie Van Halen for the first time in Lubbock. I was sitting up above, for the Van Halen concert, and he didn't get to see him when Van Halen played. I went to the Van Halen in Dallas like 2 or 3 days before, but I guess Dime and them was out of town, so they met him. Dime and Rita met him the next one at Lubbock, So I was happened to be at that concert too, on the side of the stage, and I saw that shit happen. And it was the first time they met and stuff. And I don't even think they got to be friends more than a year and a half before, Dime got killed. Now my band, Corn-Fed Cadillac, which is ironic.
I love that.
I stole that off of Diesel. I saw a big Diesel, and it said that on the back in fancy letters, said Corn-Fed Cadillac. But I'm working with Thurber T, who's in a band called Pump Jack. And Pump Jack was very good friends. Thurber was very good friends with Dime. And in fact, they started a band when Dime left Pantera called Gasoline. So he's got a lot of unreleased shit that I've heard. He did an album with Dime that never got released and all this kind of stuff. But he's been talking to Rita and stuff lately. So whereas I thought there would never be a chance of me getting music and shit, it's like now all of a sudden I think I can get the music and stuff too. But it ain't going to be that music. I was going to do it like orchestral or a symphonic, because I thought that would be even cooler. So we'll see how that plays out. But
You see, here at the Underground, you just don't know what you're going to find out. Holy shit balls.
But he's been producing our album, Thurber has and stuff, and he's telling me things that, Dom told him about playing and stuff like that. And it's pretty damn cool. I feel like I'm just 1 degree separation from Dom and stuff like that. So I unfortunately never got to meet him and stuff when he come down here. But he did a concert down here at the local bar and stuff, and they did a song on Gasoline called "Going with the Gut." This is about a beer belly. Yeah, it was
right.
If you get
he had a famous one, so
look up Pump Jack though. Pump Jack's a really good underrated band. They're on Ozfest and everything, and with Dime and all that kind of stuff. So they're almost there and almost going to break it big and stuff like that. But you know how this business is; it's almost ain't good enough sometimes. But Pump Jack is easily one of my favorite bands of all time. So
that is exactly why I started my show. Underground talent that everyone needs to fucking know about. This mainstream shit is gotten out of hand. I don't even have mainstream acts on my show ever. I feel that all the true talent is, the people that are in the trenches, man, just like fucking indie film. Yeah. That's why I love it so much.
It's cutting edge, and it's like I always tell everybody, I just try to, be a trailblazer and start your own thing. You have your influences, but you take their DNA within you like Tarantino does, and you make it go, well, he's copying this, he's copying that. I go, I don't know that he's copying or if it's just in his DNA somewhere from watching it when he was young.
Yeah, I mean, every artist is inspired by other artists. How is that so hard of a concept for people to understand? Any band you listen to was influenced by fucking Black Sabbath. Don't ever tell me that out there in Black Flame Land that is not true, because Sabbath was where it started.
Mm-hmm. You're totally right. The kid was talking about that this morning, how I said there wouldn't be any of that shit if it wasn't for Sabbath. I said I love Zeppelin just as much, but I said that's a different kind of rock than what Sabbath was. The dark. There would be no dark without Sabbath, because Zeppelin wasn't dark. There was nothing dark about Zeppelin.
They were more fantasy.
Yes, or they're more what do you call it, token?
Yeah,
the rings and stuff, which is cool too. And I love them all. I love the Who, and I love a lot of that stuff from the late '60s. But
hell yeah,
and I love the stuff from the '70s and '80s. And we start getting into the '90s, and I'm going, what's happening? And a lot of this modern music, though, I don't get this modern metal. It all sounds too digital to me.
Until Danzig, Typo Negative, and Pantera came around in the 90s. And it was like, finally, thank you.
Well, what's funny about Danzig and them is like, I noticed him as like, I just realized I was about this old when I realized that. I said, that dude's just doing Elvis shtick. I never noticed that before. You could say he's very influenced by Elvis. And I would have never thought that until I sit down and listen to some of that stuff. But it like blew my mind. It's like, you never know where that influence is going to come and give you that inspiration.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, if anyone's saying that your films are copying, this director, that director, so fucking what?
Yeah.
Tarantino ain't even doing anything anymore.
Well, I was too. Is like, you remember that line in Devil's Rejects? I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work. And I was like, holy shit, Rob Zombie, that was fucking awesome. And Lee said, Billy, that's Shakespeare. I go, and then he goes, but he got it from the Manson murders, because that's what Tex Watson said at the, the Sharon Tate shit. And I was like, well, goddamn. But see, now I won't do that stuff. If I copy a movie, it'll be because that character's copying a character from a movie. But I try to at least be good that way. I'm not going to plagiarize something else. But I think he was doing it as that, and that's okay. So, but there's a lot of people out there that still think that's, Rob Zombie wrote that. And I was like, that's Shakespeare. He was a pretty good writer too. So.
All right. So before we get into the final thoughts, let's take a quick look at the trailer of Circus of the Dead, just in case you guys haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I'm
on you.
What's that? I'm excited to see it. I don't think I've ever seen it before. No.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're in for a treat. I just want to make sure that all your new fans out there that haven't seen it, see it now. So we're going to go ahead and share that shit. There we go. And boom.
We begin with breaking news out of Odessa. 2 people have been found dead.
3 missing, 2 of them young girls. Still no word tonight on the whereabouts of Alyssa, Hillary, and their father, Donald Johnson. The death tolls on.
I love your use of the news.
That's impressive.
Papa corn. Papa corn. Silence is golden. Daddy asked me to come by and keep an eye on you.
What are those? Tarot cards or something?
No, you'll figure it out soon enough. When the first centers Earth, we all deserve to die. We're here by accident. I've got a big surprise for you. Welcome to the greatest show on earth!
All right.
It looks like a pretty good movie. I should check that out sometime. I wish I could. I didn't edit that one though. That's Dredd did that one too, and a lot of people like my trailers, but I see theirs and I think that thing's flawless. That's awesome.
Man, I mean, it doesn't even compare to actually watching it, in my opinion.
I appreciate
it.
Man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody out there in Black Flame Land that has not checked out Circus of the Dead, this is your fucking wake-up call. Whether you like clowns or not, or you just like a fucking brutal, like, insane serial killer type person, I mean, the script is just so original, amazing. You can find this currently on Tubi. Tubi gets all the
everywhere. Yeah, no, it's I think it's even Freevee now, but they don't even let me know where it's at anymore. But I do think it's kind of like everywhere. So
yeah,
I think
there's
it's even
absolutely
overseas.
no reason that you haven't come across this or can't find it. It's everywhere, people. And you need to
hit me up too. I'll always send out a DVD. So hit me up. My store's on Etsy under Bloody Bill Shop. So I got some cool stuff on there too.
Oh man, humble as fuck.
Let's cut that out.
So with all the fans that have obviously showed up tonight,
what is there like been two? My mom and Phil.
And all the new fans you've made tonight, what would you like to leave them with? What message do you have for the demons?
Well, the making Circus of the Dead was a dream come true for me as being a lifelong horror fan. So if you got dreams, no matter what it is, if it's, music, movies, whatever, making crystal meth, just get out there and do it and quit making excuses.
I mean, it doesn't get more plain than that. That is definitely something that you guys have probably noticed on the show. Every show I do, everyone says the same thing. Follow your dreams. Just because somebody tells you, why the hell do you want to do that? If it's your passion, fucking just get in there and do it. There's no wrong way. There's no right way. Thank you so much
for
joining me tonight in the underground.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
There he is. He would say thank you if he talked, but he doesn't talk. So.
And thank you to everyone that showed up in the comment section. That shit was fucking hilarious left and right. And showing your love for everything that Bloody Bill does. And we can't wait to see what's coming soon.
Reaper, make sure you get their those 3 people that were brave enough to comment, get their address and send it to me, and I'm going to send them some posters, okay?
That's badass, man. And I would love one as well.
Okay, I'll do that. Did you include your address too, and I'll make that happen.
Oh, man. Appreciate you so much, brother.
Thank
Definitely
you.
Hang around afterwards, but thank you all out there for supporting what Bloody Bill does and supporting the underground, because if there wasn't you, why the fuck else would I look like a painted up dead whore? Man, as you're laying it down and you have visions of Papa Corn licking you on the side of the face, always stay heavy.